Okay, everybody. I just finished taking a shave and put on a new shirt, and I'm here live, getting ready to, and hopefully everybody's here with me, listening and ready to enjoy this story that I'm about to tell you. Um, for those of you um, who've been watching my channel for a while, you already know how I met John and all that. But there's a lot of people who probably haven't watched the channel before, and so I'll start from the beginning of how I met him. Um, I was in federal penitentiary, Atlanta, Georgia. This was in, I'm not sure if it was in 77. Yeah, I believe it was 77. And me and my cell partner got caught with a bunch of weed. About, I don't know, about a half ounce of weed. And they gave us 30 days in the hole. Okay. And while we were in the hole, John Greschner and Jive Roberts came in from Marion. They were transferred in from Marion. Uh, as there were going to be witnesses at a murder case. Um, they were defense witnesses for a murder case that had happened. Um, the murder was a guy by the name of what was his name? Hell was his name, man? I always do this, man. I glitch. Um, Ronnie Bell got murdered. Yeah, that was his name. Ronnie Bell got murdered. Just remember this 50 years ago, man. And what happened was Ronnie Bell robbed a sissy by the name of Honore. Honore belonged to a guy named Steve Payton. Steve Payton was a big weightlifter, and Honore was his sissy. Okay, and both of them had been transferred from Leavenworth uh, because they were suspected of murdering somebody in Leavenworth. It starts out, Honore has connections for good heroin out of California. Honore's family is in the heroin business. Steve Payton is lucky enough to pull Honore because now he's got pussy and heroin. Those are the two most important things in the world, right? In prison. Anyway, so at one point, Honore was, she was having quarter ounce, half ounce of heroin sent to different people. And the people she was having it sent to was bringing it in through the visiting room. They would take a third or a quarter, whatever the deal was. That's usually how it works, a third or a quarter. And the rest would go to Honore. Honore makes some 50s and 100s and sells them, and they sell them, and then Steve probably shot most of it, probably himself, right? So, and Honore was happy to have him, give her man whatever he wanted, Turned out that Okay, so what are we talking about? Cam? Oh, man. You got to listen. This is prison, bro. All right. So, anyway, somebody slapped Honore in the face. And Honore, I believe, didn't really have any. She couldn't fight. She was a sissy. Um, it was over the quality or the amount of money, or it was something about the heroin. Um, and Steve waited a day or two and then killed this dude, right? And stuck his body underneath a bed. Uh, and he didn't get caught, but snitches, put they blamed the snitches told what happened. They couldn't prove it, and they couldn't. Uh, okay. I just got an email. I'm just checking out real quick. Because they couldn't prove it, they just shipped both of them out. Okay. And they both ended up in Atlanta together in C Block doing the same thing they were doing in Leavenworth. Drugs, selling them, using them, that was their deal. And like I say, Steve's pretty husky boy, man, and he just killed one fucking dude, right? Well, here comes this dude, Ronnie Bell. Ronnie Bell thinks he's tough, and he don't give a fuck. Maybe he don't understand. Maybe he didn't hear that Steve had already killed one dude over this shit. Maybe he didn't know. I don't know. But he pulls a knife, takes the dope from Honore, goes to his cell, slams, and falls out on the bed, high as a motherfucker. And that day or the very next day, Steve lit him on fire. He had some, we were able to get a hold of flammable stuff. There was, there was yard crews that go out on minimum security, cut the lawn. There was gasoline, there's paint there in the fucking paint shop. It was available. He lit this dude on fire in his cell. Okay. Actually, he jammed the door so he couldn't get out either. And we heard the motherfucker screaming in D Block. Probably heard him in A and B, for real. Pretty loud. He was, it was terrible. He was getting killed. It's hell of a way to die. It's the second time I've seen somebody die like that, and it's very painful. You could tell by the screams that this guy was fucking pain. So another thing, nobody's seen nothing but. Now, what does John Greschner have to do with all this? Nothing at all. What does Jive Roberts have to do? Jive doesn't. No, nothing. Right. I'm not sure if Jive. I don't think he was even in Atlanta when it happened. I'm not even sure. I'm not going to lie. But both Jive and John Greschner were in Marion when the trial began. And they were both called as witnesses. Now, the way things work is you call witnesses from other prisons. It doesn't matter if they were in Atlanta at the time of the murder. You're claiming them that they're going to that they're going to present defense testimony that will prove that you're innocent. That's all you have to claim. It doesn't matter that these people weren't actually there when it happened or any of that shit. It could be that uh, uh, there's just any number of things that could have happened that make it uh, possible that they may know something about this murder. Okay, so by law, you're entitled to bring these people from other prisons to your defense, and the the whole scheme is just to get these people a court trip, a trip outside the prison where you're traveling with federal marshals is always a possibility to escape. And that's what probably 70% of people calling other people uh, as witnesses in murder cases and such is all about. I mean, it's just, and everybody knows it. Uh, Half the time, the witnesses don't even get called to the stand, you know, and half the time they never get it. They don't escape either. But it just, it's just something that the people did all the time. Okay, it was just part of the fucking mojo that went down. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, man, I was in the hole for the weed, and they brought John and they brought Jive Roberts in. They put him in first cell, across from the little office right there where the officer was in, and they put him in a cell with an older, middle-aged gay dude, ugly motherfucker, right? And you get shower. They let you out for showers 3 times a week, and this first time they came out for a shower, the homosexual said, "I can't go back in there. These guys are." I don't know what the fag said that they had done to him, but they had abused them in some way. They were just having fun, really. They were just wild and young, man. I don't know how old Jive was, but John couldn't have been more than 26, 27, something like that. They were wild. They were two of the wildest fucking guys, and together they were really wild. So I kind of met him. I didn't really meet him because I was on disciplinary and he was on the administrative detention side, because they're not going to let him out in general population because they're both coming from Marion. I think John was in the control unit in Marion, in fact, I know he was. But Jive may have been in population, I'm not sure. Or he definitely was. Jive was definitely in the control unit too. But I don't know if he had gotten out of the control unit at that point or not. But one way or another, both of them just come from Marion. And that's how I met him. I didn't really get to talk to him or get to know him until later on, when I finally went to Marion Control Unit myself for a homicide that happened in Atlanta. And I saw him there, and I talked to him a few times, but really didn't get to know him very well. And that was it. Thing is, in prison, man, you meet people, and like, for instance, Carmine Tremonti, right? I knew Carmine Tremonti, you know what I'm saying? But I never talked to him. He was one of the big, he was one of the head guys, man, one of the fucking big mob guys of New York. I was there with the guy with the squirrely fucking arm. What's his name? The Colombo boss, Carmine Persico. He was a good guy. He was kind of a funny guy. He liked to make a lot of jokes and stuff. But I wasn't friends with the guy. You know, you're just getting you're in prison with people doesn't mean you're friends with them all. You know them, they know you. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're tight or anything. You have your little small, group of friends that you hang out with, and that's how that. So that's just the story of how I met him. Regards to the case, Steve beat that case. This fucking guy named Pretty Willie, this ugly motherfucker with one eye here and one eye here, they called him Pretty Willie, claimed that he seen Steve. He said he was at the bottom tier with his back against the wall looking up 5 floors. And he said that he saw Steve throw the flammable fluid in the cell and light the cell on fire. To make a long story short, they brought the whole every 12 jurors. They brought them right into the cell block from the downtown, from the court. They lined them up against the wall. They told them to look up. You couldn't see the 4th tier, let alone the 5th tier. The case was thrown out. Second murder. 2 of them. Yeah. So, and the crazy part, what a crazy part about this story is, a few years later, Honore had gone home, and Steve Payton was in Lompoc with George Harp. Okay, and Honore was sending dope in to the prison for Steve, and believe it or not, George Harp was shaking him down. He was fucking extorting this dude for heroin. This dude had already killed 2 people. You know what I'm saying? George was a motherfucker, man. And as I've said in other videos, George never killed anybody. So it's amazing to me how some people can be so dangerous and then like fall victim to a bully. You know what I'm saying? It just really wears me out. And that was that story there. Now, about Diddy, man. Okay. Last night, somebody told me that Diddy got busted with 1,000 bottles of baby oil, man. That they found 1,000 bottles of baby oil for these freak offs what the fuck was he doing with 1,000? I thought when I seen that last night in the chat section, I was fucking shocked. I didn't believe it. I thought somebody was bullshitting, really. But when I seen it today on the news, I believed it. What the fuck? Unbelievable, man. What was he doing with all that fucking baby oil, man? How much baby oil can you use? How much sex was these people having, man? And how many motherfuckers were there? It's crazy. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was all that baby oil, King Kong. Oh my God. 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Jesus Christ, man. What the fuck? Anyway, man. Yeah, I just wanted to hit on that. Okay. What else I want to talk about? Oh, listen. Anybody wants to make a suggestion about what to talk about, please leave a message about that, or send me an email or something. My email's somewhere in this. You can find it on YouTube, in my section there. Um, and yeah, man. So all right. Hopefully everybody sees my Cash App up here. Anyway, yeah. So oh, tomorrow what no, tomorrow I'm going to be with Bobby Castile. Tomorrow I'm going to be. Hold up a sec. The fuck was Diddy doing with 1,000 bottles, man? That shit don't make no sense, dude. Hold up. Okay, it's gonna be Friday. Okay, so it's gonna be sometime Friday. Hold up. I'm just sending him a just so I don't know exactly what time yet, but it's gonna be Friday. Me and Bobby are gonna be kicking it. Okay. Um, Bobby Castile from the Mexican Mafia. Um, and so tomorrow, what I think I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm going to do a show about Vito Rizzuto. This fucking guy was amazing. It's a story that, you know, it's about a man who became a king. You know, he was like he was like he was like royalty, man, in the criminal world. Uh, he was a he was a thug, and he came up through the ranks. And the Rizzuto family, at this point in time, his son, are worth $3.5 billion. Billion dollars. $3.5 billion. I'm going to put it all together. I got a little more research to do, but I'm going to put it all tomorrow. I'm going to do a show about it because I find it fascinating, you know. Like the numbers, you know, and how a person can go from being, you know, somebody who's not very well known to being a king, prince, uh, a leader of men, of armies, uh, in a criminal world, is fucking amazing to me. It really is, and that's the kind of shit I like. You know, uh, that's my stuff. You know what I'm saying? So let me see what the I think Bobby's in good standings, King Kong. Yeah, I do. You know, I'm gonna tell you something about Bobby. Bobby is one of the few people that I know that killed a guy in a knife fight where both guys had a knife and he won. Yeah. Other people, self included, I shouldn't even talk about my case. You don't find too many of that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gives anybody a chance, you know, in prison. People, you know, people catch you slipping. And if you got a beef with somebody, you better straighten it out or something because, you know, they're going to come for you and they're going to wait for you to let your guard down, and they're going to kill you. It's just the way it is. It's not the best way to handle situations, but it's just the way it is. So if people tell you that they were in a knife fight, question. I want to see that on paper. You know what I mean? Anyway. Let's see. Anything else I want to talk about right now? That's it for right now. I'm waiting for you guys to. I'm also waiting to hear back from Pirate. I think he'll probably do something, but right now he's just thinking it over or whatever. I think he wants to. He's a guy that gathers his thoughts. He doesn't just rush into anything. But yeah, I'd like to see him come back on too. And I'm also there's another guy who might be coming on. We're talking about it. I spoke to him the other night. We texted each other, and I'm waiting to hear back from him. And if there's anybody else who has a great story that they want to, share, get in touch with me, man. You can find my email in the, in the section where my I should put it in the descriptions too, shouldn't I? Well, it's in the descriptions in my other videos. I haven't been doing it with the live, but I will start, and that's about it for right this second. I mean, I'm getting ready to leave. I don't know what I'm going to do. There's something else I wanted to do, talk about, but I can't remember what it is offhand. All right, guys, that's it. I'm going to shut it down now. Enjoy your day. Please like and subscribe, and please send money if you can. And thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want, and send some questions about things you want to talk about, stuff like that. All right, I'm going to shut her down.